What's going on, y'all? AFO back again. And we're just going to be going over, I'm not going to do my own mock draft. I'm not too well versed in that. So we're really just going to be going over some mock drafts from the experts, as they say. I'm usually not too good with all these mock drafts and stuff like that. So usually I just focus on my team, the Titans, and what we need. And obviously what we need, in my opinion, this year would be either an edge rusher. Probably the top two would be receiver and cornerback because we lost Malcolm Butler and Adoree Jackson at cornerback, and so we desperately need to sign someone else other than Janoris Jenkins and just keeping Christian Fulton. And we also need another receiver. We lost Corey Davis, got rid of Adam Humphries, also got rid of Khalif Raymond, and so we definitely need some more depth and even another starter at each of those two positions. And I would say thirdly, if it's best player available, you would certainly want maybe an edge rusher. I would say we need an edge rusher, even though we did get Bud Dupree and lost Jadeveon Clowney. You always need that depth there behind them too, and I think we still need a little bit of that, I'd say. So just getting into it, this is from TitansWire, .usatoday.com, whatever. And they went through, and this is I think 13 hours ago, and they went through and found some of the experts' draft analysis. Ooh, excuse me. Let's see if this is going through. Yes, it is. It is going through. All right. Just wanted to make sure. But anyways, here we go. So Chad Reuter, NFL.com. I do have Bucky Brooks and Daniel Jeremiah's pulled up right here, but I'm pretty sure both of them will pop up right here. So Chad Reuter, he has us picking Xavier Collins. It's interesting. Definitely one of the top linebacker prospects out there. I wouldn't be mad at this pick, but I'm pretty sure he played at Tulsa. He played just inside linebacker, and they probably switched him around. I didn't watch a lot of Tulsa, obviously. But he says they could utilize Collins at outside linebacker because of his athleticism. They're comparing him to, I heard someone saying Brian Urlacher, or even like a Leighton Vander Esch, maybe, in a sense. Or he could play inside because of his bulk. Either way, you got a strong player being in the stretch service. So, he would be a good pickup if we don't intend on signing Jayon Brown or not picking up Rashaan Evans' fifth-year option if we wanted him to play inside. But it also could be, develop him on the outside as well. Who knows? I mean, it would be a good pick because he's a great athlete that you can coach up and teach. Maybe kind of reminds you of maybe like a Darius Leonard. He's not going to slip out to the second round, I think, like Darius Leonard did. But he comes from a smaller school. Now, obviously, Darius Leonard came from a way smaller school than Tulsa, but it just reminds me of that in a sense of people just falling back on him even though they were athletic. It just reminds me of that for some reason. I don't know. Not an expert analysis right there, but it just reminds me personally just because. But, excuse me. I would not be mad with that pick at all. And, I guess he goes through all 7 rounds, Chad Reuters does. And, Amari Rodgers would be a good pick. He's a good slot receiver. He did pretty well at Clemson behind T. Higgins and what was that guy's name? He went off in the championship game a few years ago. I can't remember his name, but he was opposite of T. Higgins. But that would be a good pick right there. And then all the other guys, I have no clue whatsoever. And, but I'm just going to look at the first round, honestly, because tomorrow night's the first, tonight, actually, because it's 12:30. But here we go. Bucky Brooks. I did pull that up. So I kind of already saw this pick. Trevon Moehrig, ball hawk and safety, would add another versatile defender. Would team with Kevin Byard to give a solid safety team. Now the problem with that is, we did get rid of Kenny Vaccaro, but Amani Hooker outplayed. Well, I wouldn't say outplayed, but he did well in his third safety setup, whether he played at free or the strong or sometimes I think he played even as the box defender or the slot, and he did pretty well for being a backup safety for both of the spots pretty much. But I think he's gonna be stepping into it, and I really just can't see us picking another safety in the first round. I just don't see it happening. If we do pick a safety, I feel like it'd be just like we picked Amani Hooker a few years back. Had to be like he fell to the 4th round. I'm pretty sure is what it was, and he was like projected second or even like late second or even third, and we got him in the 4th, Amani Hooker, which is paying off now. Hopefully, he might ball out this year. But I just can't see us picking a safety. If we do pick a defender or a defensive back, it will be a corner, in my opinion. Say, what's his name? Someone messed up his name earlier. It's Caleb Farley. I think it's Caleb. It's Caleb Farley, whatever his name is. He could drop back because of his back issues, and I could see us picking him there. I don't see J.C. Horn. He's been hopping up a lot lately in the mock drafts, like top 10, top 15. And unless we trade up, it's not going to happen. But if we do pick a DB, it would have to be some of those guys. I can't see us jumping on a safety in the first round. So I will have to respectfully disagree with Bucky Brooks here, even though he is one of the best out there. Joe Rexrod, I think he's on. I've heard his name. I don't pay attention much. I think he's on 102.5. Is that what it is? The Game. I don't pay attention to that one too much. But it's his. So I guess he made a trade with Green Bay. Adam, shout out Adam. I don't know if anybody's watching. Yes, we might only have one watcher. Interesting. But my buddy Adam's a Green Bay fan. This is what would happen. Seeing moving out of 22, added the 92nd pick. Caleb Farley. I had it right. There we go. Caleb Farley was tempting. Blah, blah, blah. Had good success with Mississippi receivers. A.J. Brown. And the Titans need a weapon in the slot for partnering with Adam Humphries. Yep, more learned from A.J. Brown as a freshman. He can reunite with him. I would love this pick. I would love this pick very, very well. Very, very much so. However you want to say it. Because, he is a speedy slot guy. We do need a slot guy. We did sign Josh Reynolds in the offseason. And, he's not the most ideal number 2 candidate, because he mainly played the 3 behind Cooper Kupp and Robert Woods in L.A. Having a true slot guy like Elijah Moore would really, really help our offense. That would be truly amazing. He could be a deep threat as well, and we definitely need that. He could be the Khalif Raymond for us. And Khalif Raymond was just, we got him, respect to the dude because he did good, for us in the time being and with what he could do in his role. But Elijah Moore's got that higher upside than he does. And he doesn't have the drops or anything like that, so I would really love this pick. And if he would fall to, if we happen to trade back with Green Bay, because I'm sure Green Bay would probably hop up and get Caleb Farley. That's what I was hearing earlier from Bleacher Report. But I would love this pick so much. It'd be a great 1-2 punch with A.J. Brown. They got that connection. A.J. Brown could teach him a few things. And, obviously Tannehill's a great leader, and Tannehill would get him the ball pretty well and efficiently, just like he did with Humphries. Wasn't that bad for us. He was just, out too much. His paycheck was too much for being out as much as he was, which is kind of sad, but, I think Elijah Moore's a little shiftier, a little speedier. It's a little speedier. He's got more speed than Adam Humphrey, and I think he could do real good for us. So I do like this pick if we happen to trade back, or even if we pick him at 22, I will be fine with that. Excuse me. Pete Prisco, CBS Sports. Aziz Ojulari, I know all about that, being a Tennessee Vols fan. I know all about that and how good he can be. Let's see, this team is in desperate need of improving the pass rush. Agreed. Even after signing Bud Dupree, they need more help. Might end up being the best edge rusher. Yeah, I haven't watched too much tape from him. I'm not that type of guy to watch all these prospects and everything. But, so I trust some. Sometimes I trust the experts a little bit too much. But he is good. I saw him one game against Tennessee. Obviously, he's athletically talented, gifted. And, he would provide, that third pass rusher that Vic Beasley wasn't last year. That Vic Beasley never was last year, sadly. So, based on the best play, like if, what's his name, Jalen Phillips is gone off the board at this point, or who's the guy I'm thinking of? Oh my goodness, it's Jalen Phillips, and I just totally blanked. The other guy at Miami, what's his name? Gerondo? No, it's not Gerondo. I have no clue. I can't remember his name, but he was supposed to be. He opted out last year, and he played with Jalen Phillips last year at Miami, or was supposed to at least. But if both of them are off the board or all the top, even if Xavier Collins is off the board, then yes, I would agree with this pick. If it's an edge receiver or corner, I will likely agree with it. It does depend, though. If he's best player available, I will like it. But, we just got to see how the draft unfolds, because after Trevor Lawrence, honestly, it can go anywhere. Well, I mean, we don't even know what the 49ers, they're saying they want Mac Jones or Trey Lance in the third. And in my opinion, Justin Fields is getting shafted. He's really getting shafted just based on, Ohio State QBs just ain't doing good in the NFL. He's getting that bad rap, I think. And I think he'll end up being the second or third best. I still think Trevor Lawrence will have some growing pains in Jacksonville, because it's Jacksonville, even though they do have a good set of receivers. That's a different topic for a different day. But Zack Wilson, he might be in trouble with the Jets if they do pick him. But I do like his, people have compared him to like Aaron Rodgers. I wouldn't do that yet. But he does have a good skill set in terms of like throwing off base and his scrambling ability and just all that, and being able to throw ridiculous balls like he did at his pro day. But, Justin Fields could be that 2 or 3 QB, and I think he's getting messed up. But my point was to say that anything after the first pick can go anywhere. So who knows how the board will shake up. But I would like this pick right here. That went a little longer than I thought, but here we go. Mike Florio, Pro Football Talk. Okay, now this is interesting. Kadarius Toney, he is fast as crap. I know that for sure. Kind of reminds me of maybe a Mecole Hardman in a way. So let's see, if Corey Davis gone after only 4 years, Titans replace him with another target. That's a kind of a simple explanation to why we would pick him here. But I would not like this pick unless the board shakes out that way. I just feel like someone like a Elijah Moore would be a lot better in terms of this pick. Obviously Toney played with Kyle Trask at Florida, and so he had more opportunities to show out and stuff rather than with Elijah Moore being at Ole Miss. But I just think Elijah Moore has more upside. He's got that connection with A.J. Brown, so you can't understate that, I would say. So this wouldn't, I would support the pick, obviously, as a fan, but I would have really wanted someone else if this happens to be the pick. Because who knows? I'm not going to say he's going to turn out like an Isaiah Wilson, because that baffled all of us, all Titans fans last year. Even though he had the potential, we still could have gotten Christian Fulton in the first round, but we happened to get lucky and get him in the second round. So I wouldn't be super happy with this, but I would be okay with it, but it wouldn't be my top choice. I would just be kind of like, we'll see how it shakes out. Tyron Davenport, he's a good reporter, ESPN reporter for the Titans. I like his takes on things. And if he's saying this about Elijah Moore, in these last few days, let's see. Okay, there we go. He's got a text message, my bad. But, so Elijah Moore, if Tyron Davenport is saying that, then it's pretty much going to be, I'm pretty sure we're going to pick Elijah Moore tomorrow night. That's just my feeling. That's what I know Bleacher Report came out with an article today that insiders are saying it's going to happen. But, obviously things can shake up. But Tyron Davenport, I trust what he says. So he says, adding another impact player on offense is a top priority for the Titans after losing receiver Corey Davis and tight end Jonnu Smith in free agency. Reuniting Moore with college teammate A.J. Brown gives the Titans a reliable slot receiver who can replace Adam Humphries. Moore's speed provides a much-needed vertical threat, while his quickness makes him a viable option. Why did I do that? Makes him a viable option underneath. His willingness to make catches in a crowd will quickly earn trust of QB Ryan Tannehill. Todd Downing can showcase his dynamic playmaking on jet sweeps. and quick hitting passes, maybe like a bubble screen or a quick out. Quick hitting passes, getting the ball in space, and also a punt returner. So pretty much that goes off what I was saying earlier about how he's like Adam Humphries, but he's just quicker and he's a much better vertical threat than Adam Humphries. Kadarius Toney, in that same sense, he could be a vertical threat. He can do all this stuff as well. But I just think the higher upside lies within, at least in our offense and how we're built, lies within Elijah Moore and him knowing A.J. Brown. A.J. Brown's probably kept in contact with him, and they're bros. They're bros, so I would enjoy that. So if Tyron Davenport's saying this, I truly think if I did have to make a prediction, it would be Elijah Moore as of now, but I'm going to just keep scrolling down. John Lowell of Titans Wire, 7 rounds with the trade. So he thinks we're going to trade with Cleveland and get Greg Newsome II out of Northwestern. Now, if I'm being honest, I have not heard of Greg Newsome II out of Northwestern. I have heard of Rashad Weaver. I think I heard him before last season started. On what I heard, he would be that would be a steal in the second round, but maybe, I don't really know some of these guys. Now, Brevin Jordan, he is fast, not the greatest blocking tight end, but that would be great. Shi Smith would be a great pick. If he happens to fall to the 5th round, yes, I would gladly pick Shi Smith. He destroyed the Vols, I remember, last season. He would be great. Not as good as, say, what's his name? He plays for the 49ers. I can't remember. Oh my gosh, I can't remember his name, but he played at South Carolina too, and he's with the 49ers now, and he's doing pretty good there. But being honest, I don't know a lot about Greg Newsome. Let's see if it'll pop up. Haven't heard of him. Let's see what his profile is, because they usually do some good profile work over at NFL.com. So, will be a starter within first 2 seasons. Okay. Now, I don't know what position he's at and all that, but I guess, okay, if he's getting compared to Darius Slay, that's not bad. This shows you like I said, I don't really research or do anything like that. I kind of just look at my team. So if he's a round 1 projection and he's compared to Darius Slay and he's long limbed, that's freaking crazy. So now that I'm reading this, I would be fine with that, taking him at 26. That's basically saying that obviously Patrick Surtain's off the board, J.C. Horn's off the board, Caleb Farley's off the board. It's basically saying all 3 of them. That's the top 3 guys right there. That's saying they're off the board. And at 26, if you can get someone like I almost messed his name up, Greg Newsome, that would be pretty nice. It would be pretty nice. So I actually wouldn't be mad at that. And then Rashad Weaver, based on, for some reason I remember hearing them saying he was a great, pretty good pass rusher. But I would be glad with that. Honestly, I'll be glad with anything, because I feel like this year we have way more needs, because obviously our, Johnny Smith went away, and we could even go tight end. That wouldn't surprise me either. Johnny Smith went away, Adam Humphries, Corey Davis. We had a lot more departures. When a good team, I'm hyping up my team, but when a good team, you have that window, and we're kind of in the middle of that window, or we could be reaching the end. Honestly, we had all these players that we had to sign back or let go, and so we let go of a lot of players, and so we have a lot of needs, and so that would really just any of these picks would satisfy me. So yeah, I would really like this. I like his picks at the bottom. If we happen to get Brevin Jordan, a great vertical threat, receiving tight end. Shi Smith's a good receiver, just based off what I've seen. So I would like that. That would be nice. He goes on to say this. Hold on a second. Oh, excuse me. Yes, wide receiver Elijah Moore was there, as was wideout Terence Marshall. And Azeez Ojulari was willing to bet they'd make a trade. He says he's the perfect fit for the Titans. What the Titans want to do on defense and quarterbacks in need. True. While free agent is... Okay, so I guess he goes on to talk about Rashad Weaver. Yeah. And he would line up with, Weaver and Nico Autry, Jeffrey Simmons. That would be amazing. I would like that. Playing as a 5 or a 7 tech. I would like that. But, yeah, I guess he goes in. I think he probably knows what he's talking about if he's going in depth like that. I like that. I really enjoy it. But I'm not going to read all that. Really just going over first round. Sean Calderon of Titans Wire as well says we pick, I guess it's a trade with the Jaguars. Why would we make a trade with the Jaguars? Our division rival. I don't know unless they're offering something big. But this would be a good pick here. I've been seeing if Asante Samuel Jr. falls back in the second round. I've been hearing this a lot, that the Titans are really high on him and that they would pick him, and I would not be opposed to that because he did pretty well at Florida State last year. And then even with Carlos Basham at Wake Forest, that would be those first 3 picks right here. If this were to somehow happen, I would truly enjoy that. Truly enjoy it, because Carlos Basham would be pretty much a steal in the 3rd round or early 3rd round. But that's obviously via the trade as well. So I would love these 3 picks right here. That'd be, you're getting your 3 biggest needs essentially. Receiver, corner, edge. That would be great. And then Carlos Basham don't even have to start. He could be behind Bud Dupree and Harold Landry. He wouldn't even have to start immediately. He can get bounced up into the league when he needs to. So I would like that. That'd be nice. What does he say? Shoot. I guess these guys are on Titans Wire, so I guess why they're doing that. Went with the home run hitting slot receiver out of Ole Miss, Elijah Moore. Oh my goodness. Elijah Moore. Moore would thrive in a situation where he consistently sees one-on-ones due to Derrick Henry and A.J. Brown. That is true. So I think Elijah Moore is going to be our pick tomorrow. I can just see it happening. Asante Samuel Jr. is the dream 2nd round pick for many, myself included. Well, himself, not myself. But I would enjoy it too. But no one had Brown or Christian Fulton. That is true, dropping in the 2nd round as they did the past 2 years. So anything's possible. Would give the Titans a viable option in the slot with eventual CB1 potential. That's what they've been saying about Christian Fulton. He missed a lot of last year. He did have a pick against Jacksonville in the 2nd game, I want to say. Obviously, it was a tipped ball, but he's a ball hawk and he takes it. You can't knock against that. Why do you think Marcus Peters is good? Because he's a ball hawk, jumps routes all the time, and he's pretty good. So I would like that. And he says, finish it off with the compensation from Jacksonville. Boogie Basham is an extremely versatile defender. He can play inside or along the edge. Ability to disrupt the play from any spot, which should intrigue anyone like Mike Vrabel, which would be a great pick. I would enjoy that as well. I'm going to skip the last few. Mark Schofield, Touchdown Wire. Rashad Bateman. Now, this was a pick within the last month. If you were to ask me who the Titans would pick maybe at first, I've been saying that receiver it would be Rashad Bateman. But then lately, obviously, it's been Elijah Moore, and I've been hearing that, and I'm like, that makes a lot of sense. But Rashad Bateman, I would not be opposed to this either. He's a great big body receiver. What does it say? The Titans lost 2 pieces of their passing game in Corey Davis and Johnny Smith. Adding to the receiving corps is a need, and the organization addresses that with Rashad Bateman from Minnesota. Seems to be he's sliding a bit due to how he measured at his pro day. I think he had small hands or something like that, apparently, or he measured in at 6'1" instead of the 6'2" usually. Something dumb like that. I remember hearing about it. At one time, he looked the part of a true X receiver in the league, but now they may view him as more of a Z-type player at the next level. Still, his release game is impressive, and he's fearless working over the middle. Who does that sound like? A.J. Brown. For a team that traditionally runs a lot of 12 personnel, Bateman can be an ideal fit to pair with A.J. Brown. Yeah, I would not be opposed with that. So you could go with, if you wanted to go Bateman first, you could get someone later like an Amari Rodgers who could work in the slot. And, that would be a great thing as well. Obviously, if we address the need of corner and maybe edge or maybe even tight end in those middle rounds as well, you can't forget that. I would not be opposed to Rashad Bateman either. Luke Easterling of DraftWire, he went through 2 rounds. Oh, okay, here's a little bit of a curveball. Let me get a drink real quick.
Okay. Tevin Jenkins. If y'all have not seen Brett Coleman's video of Tevin Jenkins, this dude's a mauler. That was my first time ever hearing about him, was watching Brett Coleman's video. He's a mauler at right tackle. He's a true right tackle. Great in blocking as a right tackle as well. And he would definitely replace Dennis Kelly. And I would not be opposed to this pick either, honestly. And I've said personally it's corner, receiver, edge rusher, top 3. But you could also put offensive tackle as well, because all we have now is, we signed Kendall Lamb. Is Kendall Lamb really our future at right tackle? No, I wouldn't say so. So if Tevin Jenkins were to slide back that far, I don't think he will. But if he happens to, and we're best player available, obviously, we have a lot of options at pick 22 if Tevin Jenkins is there. And if we wanted to pick him, we need to hold our breaths on that because, obviously we picked a tackle last year in the late first round, and that didn't turn out, and he just released his album. He's out of the league, and he's a rapper now. So don't want that happening with Tevin Jenkins. So, but I would be good with that. And then the Kadarius spot to pick Kadarius Toney if we were to pick him at all. Not the first round, I don't see that. But if we were to pick him, second round would be a lot better. Now, Walter Football, I've been following that for a few years when I check positional rankings and stuff like that. They're pretty good at what they do. So they have Kadarius Toney, stupid pop-up, and Carlos Basham in the second. Now, I don't know how Elijah Moore would fall to pick 100. I don't think he's going to fall out of the top 50 or top even 70. There's no way. It has to be like a fan draft or something. There's no way. I don't see Elijah Moore falling that far. So that kind of, I don't know if that lends credence at all. We pick a safety in the third round over a corner that we truly need more. I don't see it. I don't know. I can't really trust this draft right here. Now, I wouldn't be mad, but if Elijah Moore fell to the third round, then shoot, yeah, we pick him right there. We need to, shoot. But I just don't see it happening. I can't see it's not as realistic. But I would love that. I truly would. Pro Football Focus, 7 rounds. Okay, Terence Marshall. That would be an interesting pick for sure. He did good last year at LSU, and LSU was not... they fell back pretty bad off their championship run. They lost basically their whole team. And Terence Marshall, he played, I think, halfway through the season, then he opted out, which is probably smart on him because he was doing really good with not a great QB situation there after Burrow left. He's a great possession receiver from what I had seen, and he was doing pretty well against Alabama, I think, if I remember right. And that's with him being the one shutdown. They just had to shut him down. But I like Terence Marshall. That would be a good pick, I think, if Bateman or Elijah Moore off the board. I'm not as high on him as I am them two, at receiver at least, for being in that spot at 22, obviously. Obviously, Jalen Waddle and Jamar Chase and Devontae Smith, obviously they're in a tier above who I'm talking about. But around the pick 22, from what I expect to happen, he would probably be my third option, Terence Marshall. So I wouldn't oppose that. Tony Pauline, Pro Football Network, has us picking Rashad Bateman. Okay. Offensive tackle will be considered this spot, but they have significant need at receiver. Yeah, I see offensive tackle now. He does have us going tackle back to back. I don't see us going, if we do get a tackle, I don't think we'll go back to back with 2 offensive tackles. But we probably do need a offensive tackle at some point. But yeah, like I said earlier, I would not be opposed to Rashad Bateman at all. But we don't need a running back. We do not need a running back. We already have Henry and we already have Darrington Evans. We don't need to pick a running back in the third if we pick 100. So, yeah, that's basically the article. I think it didn't show Daniel Jeremiah, but he had us picking Elijah Moore as well. This could be a spot for a cornerback, but after losing Corey Davis and John Smith this offseason, they need another weapon. A.J. Brown
stars, former Ole Miss stars Moore and A.J. Brown reunite in Tennessee. So, yeah, that's Daniel Jeremiah. They didn't show that. And then, obviously, Bucky Brooks. They showed his. I don't see that happening, but yeah. Let's see. Did I have one viewer? Yeah, I had one viewer. Interesting. So, that's pretty much it. I was just going over those drafts, these mock drafts, just to see who they would pick. I truly think if I had to make a prediction at the end right now, I think we're going to pick Elijah Moore. That would be my prediction. Obviously, I could probably go through a whole draft thing and, but I don't know other teams' needs as well as some other people do, like Bengal or Brett Coleman, who do all these mock drafts as well. And I truly respect Brett Coleman, and Bengal's all right. He's more like, he's around my age, I think, and he knows his stuff when it comes to the drafts, more so than I do. I'm better at Madden than he is. I know that for sure. But I do trust that. And, so that would be my prediction right now, would be to pick Elijah Moore with that top spot. But, there's so many options. Jalen Phillips, Gregory Rousseau, that was the name I was thinking of earlier, that I couldn't think of earlier. Gregory Rousseau, Jalen Phillips, there's so many options. And then even a Xavier Collins, so many options we can do. And that's what intrigues me, and that's what's going to be fun to watch tomorrow. And I will be live streaming tomorrow as well. It's really probably just going to be me, and it's going to be me and my buddy Noah. You'll be hearing him in the background. He's going to be doing a stream on Twitch as well. So we'll see what happens with that. I won't show it because that's obviously his stream, and I'm not going to poach off that. So, that's pretty much it. Elijah Moore was the consensus pick, not the consensus pick, but most of these mock drafts picked him and a receiver. That was crazy part. The crazy part to me was mainly a receiver at number 22. And, whether it be Elijah Moore or whoever, I will gladly take it. But that's my prediction for now. But, thank y'all for watching. AFO trying to be more consistent with his views. I graduate in about a week and a half. So we'll see what happens with that. I'll have more free time on my hands. Maybe try to set up a streaming setup and all that. But we'll see what happens. But, thank y'all for watching. Comment, rate, subscribe. God bless y'all. And AFO is out.